Well, hey, what's going on? Why is that on there? Eighth grade rocks. Let's just make that known. Hey, it's Kid Friday. It is show number 236. I'm Dave. We do this show because you are a kid in a digital world. We talk all sorts of kind of techie stuff, but then we always go, we always go somewhere else. We always end, hey, so we're in Studio 1A because they changed stuff around on us. So we're in Studio 1A and I hooked up an outdoor cam. Let's go to the outdoor cam because it's still light out. And there we go. There's the outdoor cam. There's a bridge right there. Underneath the bridge, look at that's snow in case, Kid Friday's viewed in over 200 countries. And you may not know what snow is, but that is snow. Matter of fact, there is an unbelievable. You hold on. Let me put this stuff on there. Hold on. Let me get off of that. Anyway, below the bridge is a great bike path that I use. Not year round, okay. If I'm at the studio, but there's a nice bridge. Maybe we'll check back and see if anyone's walking. Oh, hey, there's a car. Look at that's some live. See, this is not a static camera shot. That's live right outside Studio 1A. Isn't that fantastic? Thank you so much. It took me 2 minutes to set that up. I just want to do it before it gets dark out. So here's what's going on this Kid Friday. This is the time of year where, well, it happens all year, but this is the time of year especially when people like to steal packages. We've got a couple very interesting stories about packages that are left on people's doorstep that get stolen, and how Amazon is working with the police. And then also this video that's going viral. If you've seen it before, it's still fun to see it again. And we're going to show you that video about the glitter bomb coming up here on Kid Friday. All right. So also what is going on? Facebook in trouble again, kind of. They released more information to people who should not have it. And this time they released it to developers. And you may be included. You may be included, and we'll tell you how to find out if you are. Bitcoin, so some scammers were out like a week ago, right? And they were like, send us $20,000 in Bitcoin or we're going to blow up your building. Now, I kind of have a personal story that I just found out about. I had no idea, but where my office is, down the hall, on the other end where there's a whole nother completely business thing going on, they got one of these emails and they called the police. And I'll tell you what happened coming up with that. So actually a personal experience. Well, I never heard about it until yesterday, but I just heard about it. YouTube takes down 58 million videos for several reasons. So if you can't find a particular one that's interesting, where did it go? It may have gone to YouTube heaven. Just saying. Another study out saying kids spend more time discussing how to use mobile technology, not how to utilize it necessarily to your best ability. And we'll see if we can get to that. And Puma, like the shoes, although anyone who knows me knows I like to say, I call them Pumas. Ooh, those are nice Pumas. So they had a high-tech tennis shoe back in the 80s, and they are bringing it back with bigger and better technology. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm just telling you, okay? And if you want to hear, I got a great story. We'll see if we get to it how far we get. And do we have more? Apple announces a new location for not a retail store, but a dozen cities of North America were leading the way, trying to get Apple to come to their state, and we'll tell you who Apple picked, perhaps. Or I could just tell you right now, Austin, Texas. I'm giving the whole show away. Complimentary. All right. Okay. Amazon. So there's more stuff going on, and we'll see how far we get. Because, like I say, we do the show because you are a kid in a digital world, but you never quite know where we're going. I just got an update on an iPad in front of me. It is my uncle's birthday. Uncle Alan, happy birthday. I forgot to send you a card. And my aunt always says send a card. So I'm going to send you a card. Luckily, whatever. I'm going to send you a card, and you're going to get it. And there you go. So happy birthday to Uncle Alan, who is one of the coolest uncles anyone could ever have. And I'm not just saying that. All right. To get the show going, I don't have to look around now for the show opening, because all I did is and I could have done this like years ago. I just put it to number 1. So if I hit number 1 on my Bluetooth keyboard, the intro is going to start, and we do this countdown thing, right? This 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 deal, right? So all I have to do is go like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hit it, hit it, hit it. Oh!
Let's get this party started.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I love computers. I have an iPod. I'm a gadget freak. I like to play with my display. I do it every day. I have awesome technique. Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I love this stuff, can't you see? Yeah, I'm a Kid Friday. I'm a kid who's in love with technology. Kid Friday.
Oh yeah. Kid Friday brought to you by Story Cub. Yeah, we love the Cub. Story Cub video picture books. It is story time anytime you want. You know what? It's 3 a.m. I can't sleep. Maybe watching a video picture book from Story Cub could do the trick. Not saying that there has been a study done on that, so I'm not trying to mislead you on that as well. Hey, you know what? Before we we'll get back to Story Cub for a second. Let's go to the outside camera, and can we do that and see what's going on? Oh, let's see what's going on outside. There is. Oh, look at that! Some action. Someone's riding. Are they riding a bike? I think so, because underneath the bridge down there, there's a awesome bike path that you can ride for. As the Who once said, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. And I'll get out there and I can do 50 miles, no problem. I didn't say fast, but I can, depends what kind of shape I'm in. There is, anyway, not much going on the camera right there. But, all right, let's go back quickly. I just wanted to see it before it gets dark out, because I think before the show is over, we're not going to be able to see it. So that is that's the deal there. We're back to not that Story Cub, yeah. Story Cub's viewed in over 200 countries as well, and it is story time anytime, all the time. There is never a better time for story time than right now. Wherever you are after Kid Friday, check out Story Cub. You can go to storycub.com and scroll right to the bottom of the page, and you can watch an awesome Christmas story, Gary, the world's worst elf ever. John Ottinger is the author, and he is, to me, one of these famous illustrators, because his illustrations are so cool. It's worth. It's a good story. It's a great story, but his illustrations are just as great as well. And then if you're more of a traditional kind of Christmas person, there is A Christmas I Remember. And that is a great story as well. And there's something else on there. It's all free. It's free. F-R-E. You know how to spell free? It's free, which is great. All you have to do is go to storycub.com, scroll to the bottom of the page. You'll find the videos right there. You click on it, and you watch it. And there's no commercials, and there's no halfway. I've been watching on a lot of YouTube lately, and it seems like people are putting more and more commercials in than ever, because halfway through the video or a quarter way through the video, all of a sudden another commercial comes on. A couple more minutes plays, then another commercial comes on, and so on, and so on, and so on. You get the idea. So it is, it's story time with no commercials at storycub.com. If you, and it's also available on iTunes podcasts. And if you could, give Story Cub a great review and give Kid Friday a great review, will you? Please. We'd really appreciate it. And thanks to Story Cub for being a sponsor right here on, I'm sorry, I'm always looking for something. Yeah, there it is. All right. Right here. Oh, on Kid Friday. I thought I programmed a number to, let's get rid of that. I thought I programmed a number to the bear going down the road. I suppose I can, and I think I can, and I think I can go like that, and that's all I need to do. So should we try it? Just to, ooh, look at that outside is looking nice. Let's just try this.
Hit it, hit it,
right,
hit it.
right.
Oh!
Look at that. All that stuff going on. That's craziness. All right, let's get back to me, because it is Kid Friday, and we do have some stories to cover. So I think we should start. But we're not going to start with what we talked about, because again, why? I don't know if we're going to get to these stories or not. I was okay. In case I didn't mention it, or maybe you haven't seen what, I have an Apple MacBook Pro, and I had some major problems with it. So much so, I went to the Genius Bar, and one guy, hold on, I'll be right back. And he had he kind of consulted with another guy, and another guy came back, and he had to consult with another guy. And before you know it, they came over and they said, we need to take your computer for like some deep kind of discovery to see if what exactly is wrong with your computer. There may be a chance that we would have to wipe your computer completely clean. I'm like, oh man, I mean, this is my life. And I said, okay, so they have to run this program. It takes, I don't know, 3-4 hours or whatever, and I'm not sure when they were going to hook it up. So they said, we'll call you probably by the end of the week when it's ready, or send you an email, something like that. Next day, I get an email. Your computer is ready to pick up. That's all it said. Your computer is ready to pick up. And I'm like, oh, yes. So I go to the Apple Store, and from Studio 1A, it's an 8-minute walk. All right, even if you have to walk through this, okay, it's not bad. It's actually kind of fun, and you put some headphones on, some earphones, whatever, some earpods, whatever you got, and you take a nice little walk. So I'm walking over there, and I'm bringing my briefcase because I want to. I need to put it in something because I'm going to be bringing it back. And so I come in, I go, yes, I got an email. My computer's ready. Okay, yeah. If you could just go sit down at that table, someone will bring it out. I said, okay. I'm like, yes. So someone, after probably about 6-7 minutes, doesn't matter, they come out and they go, so here's the deal. We had to wipe your computer completely clean. In other words, take everything off of it. Every piece of software, everything off of it. and reinstall, what is it, Mojave now? The latest operating system. I'm taking a look here, and it is Mojave. It is version 10.14.2 is what we're currently running. Okay, so they load that up, and by the way, all these hard drives and everything's crazy. They load it up. So here's the deal. Make sure you back up your computer or you could lose your life. Now, I learned the hard way probably about, 5-6 years ago. I had a lot of stuff on one particular external hard drive, and that external hard drive failed, and I lost a lot of very important information. So I've learned I back up to 2 different hard drives, but the thing is, part of my problem was I was using Time Machine, which is an Apple program. I'm sure Windows has one, something similar, that backs your computer up. But I was having problems with Time Machine. That was one of the reasons I went in. So it wasn't backing up. So I went and visited, speaking of my aunt and uncle, I went to visit my aunt and uncle over the Thanksgiving holiday, and I was in a hurry. I was running late. I was running late, and through all the chaos, I didn't bring my charging cord for my computer. So I took the computer, but I didn't charge. So I didn't use it that much, which was a good thing because I would have lost all that information unless I backed it up there, which I couldn't because I had a problem with it backing up. So, but my last backup was 1 week prior to that, and I backed up everything. I had backed up everything to 2 different hard drives, and I used one of those hard drives to reinstall all the information. It was actually a much smoother transition than I thought it would be. So, but to know that, like, I'm just telling you, back up your computer. Back it up to an external hard drive. Back it up to the cloud if you can. I use Dropbox, I think. I should double check. I have Dropbox. I should make sure it backs up there. Because you should have multiple backups. And I was fortunate enough that, I'm in the middle of, I'm looking at 1, 2, I know I mentioned this last show, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 external hard drives. These are only the ones that happen to be in front of me. Or maybe there's 9 in there. There's a plethora of external hard drives, and most of them are 4 terabyte each because video. And I deal in video. Video takes a lot of room, and you need. Look at the guy at the Apple. I think I did show this last show. The guy at the Apple store wrote a note here. Time Machine is getting errors, often related to the backup drive. Yeah, and so anyway, but I have a lot. I have a lot of these. Like if you look at this drive right here, this is 4 terabytes. If you take a look at this drive right here, actually this is a new one I bought because I'm trying to, it's still chaos actually. But at the end of the day, this chaos is actually going to make me more organized. So it's in a certain way a good thing. But I know this is a 4 terabyte drive. I think this particular one is a 3. It's a 3. Here's another 4 terabyte drive. All right. So anyway, back up your drive. All right. Now, if you don't know how to, ask someone. Get help. What if you lost all your school stuff? I know maybe you're using a Chromebook and it's automatically being backed up. That's great if it is. If you have a home computer, a desktop, a laptop, make sure you're backing it up to at least 2 sources. And, what I always did, and still do, when I back up to 2 external hard drives, I always leave one of them at the office. and then I always take one with me. So they're not in the same location. Someone breaks into my office, they steal all my hard drives. Ooh, that wouldn't be good. So I take one with me, and they're encrypted as well. Not that I have anything important, but they are encrypted so no one can really get into them. However, there's always someone who knows how to get into something. All right, let's move on here. Can we move on to something that, while I was looking for something and going through these hard drives, I found this, and this is from a show from, I'm not sure, I think 2012, maybe, this selfie brush. You ever seen this? It's the selfie brush. You can put your phone in there and brush your hair, and then so you can look really nice if you take a selfie. I think, look at that. This predates. This came out before the selfie stick. It's a selfie brush, but boy, she's got a long arm. I'm going to give her credit for that, huh? That's for something else. All right. I did look up the selfie brush to see if it was still available, and you can get it on Amazon, but only for the 5 and 5S, and from some company I've never heard of. I went to their website, and they have other products out. I can show you. They have other products out. This is called the wet brush. All right. Over 45% less breakage, 56% less effort, 100% happier hair. I don't know if I believe that, but it's a anyway. I hit shop and I don't see the selfie brush anywhere. I did see it on eBay though, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just see. Did I find it on there? I think I did. Let's see if we can find the selfie brush. Selfie brush, because maybe you just can't live without it. And hey, look at that, $6.99 wet brush box selfie hairbrush. Hold on, maybe the wet and the selfie are the same thing. I don't know. Look at this. Hold on, let me throw it into a better gallery view here. And look at that. Huh? There are plenty out there for $5 plus $4 shipping, $7.99. So $8, you can get yourself a selfie brush. Just make sure that it is, see, these say, I'm looking at them, and the thing is that they're saying, like, these are for 5s and 5Ss. So I didn't even know if they made one for a 6. I don't think they did. I did do a little looking. Hello. I did do a little looking and did not find one. So there's a selfie brush that is an idea that I believe it didn't do too well. All right, let's move on. Can we move on? All right. So a lot of people this time of year, especially, stealing packages. And Amazon, it's interesting here, Amazon and the United States Postal Service got together, and officers in New Jersey are planting dummy boxes fitted with GPS trackers coupled with hidden doorbell cameras at homes around the city of Jersey. Now, the homes selected for the experiment were chosen using the city's own crime statistics combined with mapping data and theft locations supplied by Amazon. One box was stolen in less than 3 minutes after it was delivered, one of these fake ones. Amazon told the Associated Press that we appreciate the increased effort by local law enforcement to tackle package theft and remain committed to assisting however we can. The U.S. Postal Service expects to deliver about 900 million packages in the run-up to Christmas. Last year, Amazon launched a service called Amazon Key that allowed homeowners with smart locks to let couriers open their doors via an app. and leave parcels inside. While that may be a step in the right direction, a lot of people are scared of that. So basic tips are, if you order something, the best thing to do is to have it delivered to your work. Okay, it really is. I have most of my stuff delivered to the office myself because you're going to get it. No, I mean, unless you have a lot of thieves in your office, then it's probably not the right place to work. You can insist that deliveries must be signed for, install cameras, and give police some video evidence. However, I've talked to some people who have done that, and they say the police tell them they're just too busy. They're too busy to try and track someone down. And you can also use a service that provides a storage box that drivers can unlock by entering a code on a keypad. Amazon provides lockers for people to pick up their parcels in locations such as shopping centers, convenience stores, airports, and other places. I have seen those. I have seen these lockers outside grocery stores or places where you buy food. And first I was wondering, like, what's going on here? I don't get it. But now I get it, because if that package was left at someone's front step, there may be a good chance that it would get stolen. This way, it's behind a locked box. They're provided a code, and they go and they put the code in. Someone's at a location near them and get it. So here at Studio 1A, they use something called I don't know, but it's a package locker. And you get an email saying you received a package. So you go to the package locker, and there's a keypad, and you punch in the number that's provided, and then you sign it with your finger, and then it says, "Stand back, box number 26 is about to pop open." And you hope 26 is not right in front of your face, because boom, that door opens up, and there's your package. How nice is that? So that's it's a really phenomenal deterrent. However, when Amazon delivers, someone actually has to put the package in the locker in the building. And if they don't do that, then what's the use? I don't know. Have you seen this? This goes to extremes, and I think it's worth watching. This guy, we'll give him full credit. He puts his name on here and everything. About these glitter bombs. Let's just watch it for ourselves, because if you've already seen it, watch it again, because it is phenomenal. And this guy is a lot smarter than me. Just saying.
This guy took a package from my porch, and now he's about to open it in his car, but what he doesn't know is this is a custom-built bait package that is recording him on 4 different cameras, and it's about to unleash a pound of the world's finest glitter, along with some other surprises. But to understand how he got to this point, first, we need to rewind a bit. About 7 months ago, I noticed a package being reported as delivered, but it never arrived, so when I checked our security cameras, I noticed this lovely couple out for a stroll. As you can see, they have backpacks on, and they're just going around the neighborhood making an afternoon out of this. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, you just sort of feel violated. And then I took this to the police, and even with the video evidence, they said it's just not worth their time to look into. So then you also feel powerless. And I just felt like something needs to be done to take a stand against dishonest punks like this. And then I was like, hold up. I built a dartboard that moves to get a bullseye every time. I spent 9 years designing hardware that's currently roving around on another freaking planet. If anyone was going to make a revenge bait package and over-engineer the crap out of it, it was going to be me. So I started with a sketch and some CAD, and then I hit up my buddy Sean, who is really good with this type of small electronic stuff, and we got to work. Ultimately, when they opened the package, I just wanted to celebrate their choice of profession with a cloud of glitter, because I mean, who doesn't love glitter? That's easy. I could just do that passively with like a spring when it opens. But I also wanted to record their reaction, and that's what makes the engineering here an order of magnitude more difficult. Because if you think about it, this thing has to sit on a porch all day and it can't be plugged in. And you have no idea when someone will come and pick this up. So it's not like you could just hit record on the camera and then put it in the box, because you're gonna run out of battery and storage space. On top of that, I need some way to recover this footage in case I never get the bait package back. So after 6 months and lots of design iterations and so much testing, here's where we landed. This custom printed circuit board is the brains of the operation. It has a built-in accelerometer, and when it's jostled, it will check the GPS signal to see if it's been moved from the porch, and if so, it sends a signal to all the phones to wake up and start recording. And I'm using 4 phones that have a wide-angle filming mode and are angled back. And this 3D printed portion is contoured this way because it represents the field of view of the phones. So as you can see, I'm guaranteed to capture their reaction no matter which way they open it from. And nestled in here, we've got a can of fart spray. No joke, you can clear a room with 1 spray of this stuff. So we made a cam on a small motor that sprays it 5 times. And not only is this just a nice touch, but we keep repeating 5 sprays every 30 seconds until they throw the package out of their car or house before they realize there's 4 phones inside. This increases our chances of finding it because we always know the package location at all times due to the GPS on the phones. But even if we don't recover it, all 4 phones have LTE data plans, so they upload the footage to the cloud so I can still see what happened. And then for the pièce de résistance, we have a cup here on top that spins from a motor underneath. So once you load in a butt ton of the world's finest glitter, the motor spins really fast and the centrifugal force fires it evenly in all directions. Then we cut holes in the side of the lid and covered them with one-way film so 2 of the cameras could see them as they walked away. And then finally, to make it look like an actual delivered package, we added some shrink wrap and a delivery label, which is perhaps my favorite part of the whole thing. Because if the thief wasn't in such a hurry, they'd see that the package is actually coming from my childhood hero and inspiration for this project, Kevin McAllister. I even looked up and am using the address of the actual house they filmed the movie in. And of course, it's being shipped to his boys, Harry and Marv. And there's a charge port in the bottom because if it doesn't get stolen in a given day, I can bring it in and then recharge all the batteries in the system overnight. So the idea is the bad guy comes and takes it off your porch, then lifts the lid, and these 2 limit switches tell the circuit board brain inside that the lid's been removed, and then that sets everything in motion. And I may be biased, but sometimes a well-engineered design is beautiful. And because the phones have GPS, we created a virtual geofence around my house, so I get a notification when the package has been moved off the property. So I put it out on the porch, and now all that was left to do was wait. Okay, so I was at work and I got a notification that the geofence we set up had been tripped. So then I checked the cameras and sure enough, the package is gone. So I checked the GPS and sort of tracked it, and it appears they're in a car because they seem to leave my house pretty quickly, but it seems to have stopped in a parking garage, which is where I'm headed to now. And if you're new here, this isn't a prank channel, so I am completely out of my comfort zone. And there she is. Oh. Oh, see some glitter. This is like recovering the black box of a crashed airplane. It would still work even if I didn't get the box back. The footage would upload to the cloud, but it's just faster to plug the phones in. So I'm gonna go home and find out how this somehow ended up here. So it appears he was walking down the sidewalk and then suddenly makes a hard left. Then he takes the package and gets in his car and eventually makes it to this parking garage where this glorious sequence unfolds.
No way! Look at that, dude. Look at my car, dude. Everything. Oh my god. Dude, I don't know what this is. Literally like everywhere.
My friend Cece has also had some packages stolen, so she asked to leave it on her porch for a few days too.
Stink bomb? You in my house right now.
What the f? Come on. Lift this out. That smell, nigga. Open the door. What the f? Get that shit out of here, bro. You shouldn't even have grabbed that shit. What the f? Get this shit out of here. What do you want me to do? You on yourself. Take this shit up out of here. For real. Woo! Take that all day.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.
So the moral of the story is, just don't take other people's stuff. Not only is it not cool, but on the plus side, you'll never find yourself in this situation. Or perhaps even worse, this one.
Gonna get in here like, who you had in here?
This video is all about protecting your packages from bad guys with this 6-month over-engineered monstrosity, but lucky for you, it's way easier to protect yourself from online bad guys thanks to the fine folks at NordVPN, who also happen to be supporting this video. As you know, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, so you could surf the web anonymously, your location stays private, and your data is encrypted. And even though I'm not a bad guy with something to hide, I generate a spinning glitter cup of data online every day, which I would prefer not to be used against me like you read in a lot of the news stories lately. And as a bonus, if you ever get a message about a video not being available in your country, technically, with just a click of a mouse, your computer can virtually teleport to any country you want.
Crikey.
And NordVPN is the best because they're super fast with thousands of servers across the globe, and they also have Apple and Android apps for mobile browsing, which are free with your account. So if you travel internationally, or given today's headlines, you're ready to start taking your privacy more seriously, you can go to nordvpn.com/MarkRober or use the link in the video description for 75% off.
Anyway, Mark Rober, give him full credit for that because Mark engineered, and we'll talk about VPNs on an upcoming show, a virtual private network, and Tor and all these other different ways to get VPNs. But the glitter bomb is great, but the fart spray has to be number one on the list, does it not? All right. Hey, before it gets too dark, or is it? Can we go to our outdoor cam? Is that working? It is working. It's a little fuzzy. It looks a little out of focus, but I'm afraid if I get up and try and get it into focus, then everything's going to be out of focus because it's not like it's right next to me. I have several USB extension cords. So anything going out there? There's nothing going out there anyway. Huh? No. Okay. All right. So let's move on here on Kid Friday. So a couple other things. One, I am into vinyl records. I love vinyl records. I had 6,000 vinyl records. I got rid of 3,000 of them, so I'm down to small 3,000. Small. They take up half the space of where I live. I was looking for something one day recently, and I couldn't find it, and I'm going nuts because none of my records are organized. I just always kind of flew through them and kind of found, even though there's 3,000, kind of figure it out. But I said, enough. I'm going to alphabetize my albums and at least not exactly alphabetize them, but at least get all the A's together, the B's together, the C's together, right? The Cars, the Cure, J.J. Cale, whoever you, whatever. So I out of the blue, I said I had enough. And so I started throwing records all over the place, right? All over the place. But I had to make a little kind of a walkway. So I made a little walkway there to get around and get my A's and B's. See, there's not too many Q's, there's not too many U's. What, Uriah Heep, U2, right? Just coming to mind. I don't know. I'm thinking of a song underneath the radar. However, you know what? I just noticed something. And because there's not too many Z's. But if you look at this album right here, that is an album by Frank Zappa called, and this, I'm going to recreate this for you because it's kind of cool. You're looking at it upside down. The name of the album is Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. Huh? Okay, so, that's not good. All right, so I'm going to try and draw it upright. So I'm going to make a square if I can. Let me make a square. Can I do that? I think I can do that. Okay. And then he's got kind of a bottom right there. Okay. And then we are going out and then down here and then like that. Okay. So right here is the ship and right there is the witch's hat. Okay. So a ship arriving too late to save a drowning witch. One of my favorite album covers of all time. It's so simple, yet it's genius in its own way that I like that. So I didn't like taking 3,000 albums. I liked it at the beginning. And I did find the album I was looking for, so that's good. And now my albums are much more organized, like much more. Wow. I can go to the R's and, I know all my Lou Reed records were all together anyway. But if I want to hear, I could mention some songs Root Boy Slim and his band, the song Boogie Till You Puke, put a quarter in the juke, boogie till you puke. Yeah, what a catchy line that is. Why do I have that album? All right, let's move on here on Kid Friday. Facebook. Oh, Facebook, man. The Facebook bug exposed millions of users that had unposted photos to apps. So, forget about the Facebook privacy scandal that happened. What was that, like last September? I think there was a big one. But Facebook recently released a photo API, which has to do with app developers, a bug that gave app developers too much access to the photos of up to 5.6 million users. The bug allowed app users that had been approved to pull the timeline photos and also receive Facebook stories, marketplace photos, and most worryingly, photos that were uploaded to Facebook but never actually shared. You know how you might upload a photo and go, I'm not sure if I should actually post this or not or whatever. TechCrunch discovered the breach on September 25th and informed the European Union's IDPC that had begun a inquiry into the breach. Facebook provided merely kind of like, we're sorry, in terms of an apology, which isn't really that good of an apology, I guess, through Facebook notification. Anyway, you can go to the help center in Facebook if and see if you were affected. Also, and they should be notifying you if your data was potentially breached. So Facebook initially didn't disclose when it discovered the bug, but in response to TechCrunch's inquiry, the spokesman says that it was discovered and fixed on September 25th. They also said they took time for the company to investigate which apps and people were impacted and build and translate the warning notification sent to impacted users. So you should have received something if you were potentially impacted, but they were in no big hurry to let anyone know about it. Just kind of like it's just another one of those things. Wow, this RE27 is a big microphone. That's the deal there. So they've had a lot of issues. December of 2018. Oh, that's something else I'm talking about. Never mind. So have you heard about this Bitcoin scam that happened about a week ago? And basically, there was a group fishing, and when I say fishing, I don't mean fishing. Now, I went fishing like this, fishing for as a kid. My dad was huge. Oh, he loved to fish. He had this giant tackle box. I mean, huge tackle box. He was big time into fishing, and when I was a kid, he used to take me, and I'd always cross our lines, and he'd spend more time untangling all the fishing line than actually fishing. So he stopped inviting me, but he took me out for ice cream. So and I wasn't that big into fishing anyway. After being told, "Hey, you crossed my line again." He was a great guy. Don't get me wrong. He was a great guy, but and loved to fish. And wow, it's been more than probably like 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. I drove him down to Florida, and because he wanted his car down there, and we're in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States. It's a long drive, and he wanted to take all his fishing stuff with him because he's going to go fishing down there. And so I flew him down. I drove him down there and then flew back. And then he was down there for like a couple months. And then I flew back down there and drove him back up because, his eyesight and everything, I want to make sure that, he got down there safely. And he tells me that he didn't go fishing once, not one time. And part of the reason he wanted his car down there is so he could have all his fishing stuff. The trunk was full of nothing but fishing stuff, and he didn't go fishing. What did he do? I have no idea, but I know he had a good time. All right. So this Bitcoin scam, scammers, not that. Spammers they sent a wave of threats to businesses, schools, and other locations in English-speaking countries across the world, demanding Bitcoin in exchange for not detonating a supposed bomb. There's no evidence of any actual explosives being placed or detonated, but it caused quite a scare. Numerous evacuations took place. Law enforcement investigations across the U.S., Canada, New Zealand took place. And police were investigating potential threats and asking victims to exercise caution. Several examples of the email that have been posted online. A typical example printed in the Cedar Rapids Police Department in Iowa carries the subject line. Someone received an email, several people received, that says, do not waste your time. Now, its sender warns that a man has carried an explosive device into, quote, the building where your business is conducted. And says basically, if you don't pay us $20,000 in Bitcoin, by the end of the day, we're going to blow up your building. Now, it happened all across the U.S., and I had no idea that it actually happened in the building that I was in. No one told me, but at the far end, the other end of the building is another business, and they received one of these emails, and I find out that they called the police, and like 4 squad cars. Where was I? I didn't see any of this. 4 squad cars, like with their lights on, came to the building, and I think it was before they knew that this whole thing was the whole thing was a hoax. Just so you know, but when you send out millions and millions of emails saying that if you don't pay us $20,000 in Bitcoin by the end of the day, we're going to blow up your building. If you get like 5 businesses to do it, that's $100,000 right there. So if you send out millions of them, that's the whole thing. It's a numbers thing. You send out all this stuff, and then you just hope for just a few, right? These guys. And I had no idea. I wasn't evacuated. I don't think they were either. But this was across the United States, across Canada, New Zealand, other countries as well. They were all these people were sent. It was sent by email, and specifically, it said to send the money in Bitcoin. It was a Bitcoin ransom. No explosive devices were found, and this happened a lot in Washington D.C., our nation's capital as well. So that security. I mean, when someone says something like that, you take that real serious. And no devices were found. The whole thing was a hoax. And I don't know if anyone actually sent in something, or if they. I think most people don't even know how to access Bitcoin, which could be a good thing, if you ask me. YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube. I've been watching YouTube. Do I have my phone on me? I do. So my iPhone, how it tells you now how much viewing time, and usually it's because of YouTube. I need to redo. My finger has changed. Something happened to my finger. I can no longer open my phone by my finger. However, I can tell you that now this isn't just because of YouTube. YouTube, though, they do have something on there now that can monitor your viewing time. But overall, my weekly screen report. Your screen time was down 7% last week for an average of 2 hours and 9 minutes a day. So for over 2 hours a day, it's been going down. Most of my time, and I'm not one of these guys either, it's actually Facebook and eBay. Now, I've been listing some stuff on eBay. Facebook, I use for business as well. So it was probably most of it actually for business. Then Spotify and Apple Music, Safari, Mail, Messages, and then it says you can show more, but that's enough. 219 different ways that I used my phone in the past 7 days, according to this information. And it can show categories. So social networking, and number 1, then entertainment. Although again, it's used for business, so it doesn't make sense. Then there's other. What does other mean? I don't know. Productivity, reading and reference, and creativity. So kind of neat. I don't know if that it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect the way I use my phone. I will say that. So when I see this data, it It doesn't like, I don't know. I use it when I need it. When I don't, I don't. Right? Okay. Let's move on here. YouTube. If you are a YouTube viewer and you there's a video that you like that's not there anymore, could be because that it had been removed. That is, YouTube removed 58 million videos last quarter. More than 7.8 million of those were taken down because they violated community guidelines. The other 50.2 million were taken down as YouTube removed 1.67 million channels. 1.67 million channels. Wow. The online video platform said 72% of the videos removed. They were removed for violating guidelines in the latest quarter as being spam and misleading. 10.2% were removed out of concern for child safety, and 9.9% were removed for including stuff that's not so nice. Let's just say that. It's called a transparency report, and it was released publicly last week, and touting Google's efforts to try and keep things as safe as possible on YouTube. Now, how do I use YouTube? If you are a Kid Friday viewer, you might remember I might have said I mainly use it to watch the PBS NewsHour. I love news. I like to know the latest, what's going on. And I will recommend an app. If you have a Roku or if you have Apple TV or if you have anything like that, Reuters, and you can spell that yourself. Reuters has a really interesting app. And when I was visiting my aunt and uncle, I showed them. They love it. I was just at someone's house last night. I told them about it because we were talking. I don't know how news came up. And I said, have you tried the Reuters app? And this is unsolicited, okay? Kid Friday, I don't know. So, but what it does is you pull it up and it'll say, how much time do you have to watch the news? And your choices are 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes. And you just click on one of those, and it generates the latest news, and it starts to play. And it's pretty cool. And initially, they didn't have any commercials on there. Now, I think they've built up a loyal fan base, and now they do include some commercials on there. But as opposed to... Well, it's kind of like the PBS NewsHour. If you've ever seen that, of course, now you don't really care what I'm talking about because this is for kids. It's for kids of all ages, though. I mean, we have people from all over the world, all different ages. PBS NewsHour is good because they'll tell you the headlines, and then they'll go in depth on those stories and get into other things. So if you can watch the first 10 minutes of the PBS NewsHour and be, as they say, well-informed, or at least informed enough about it. It's pretty good. Okay, a couple things that I just left on here. My favorite picture of all time, my buddy, my pooch, who's no longer with us, who I was taking out for a ride, and I took this picture. I was driving, not necessarily moving. Let's not say that. And I took my camera and I pointed it to the passenger mirror. And I took this picture of my buddy Winston the poodle, who was look at that. He's having fun. That's a smile. That's a smile on his face. So there's Winston. And then what I like to share, I want to know this. There's the coolest phone case I've ever seen. Do they still make them? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. If you want one of those, okay? I know how to get things manufactured, okay? I'm not trying to impress you by any means, although let's go to the outside kicks. I just noticed, I thought I saw something. Anything going on out there? Look at that, it's getting dark. There's a guy walking along, so I don't know how much... not much going on there. All right. If you think you want an ice cream sandwich phone case, join our Facebook page at Kid Friday. Okay? It's Kid Friday. Facebook.com/Kid Friday. Join and write that you have one. that you want one and what kind of phone you have, okay? Because then that'll give me a better idea of if we have enough interest. Because I was going to say, I've been to China many times, and I'm sorry, I'd like to produce stuff in the United States. You know what? It's like, would you rather pay $90 or would you rather pay $10? I don't know. But if you have any interest in the ice cream sandwich phone case, I will get some made. And like, would you, and the idea is like, would you pay $10 for a case, including delivery? We could do a Kickstart kind of a thing, but let's just see if Kid Friday viewers like yourself, maybe you're not interested. I don't know. I think it's the coolest looking case ever, and that was made for the 5 and 5S. So I don't even know if I don't think there's any, if they're out there anymore or what, but I love that case, and I've always loved that case. So go to Facebook, join the Kid Friday Facebook page, and make a comment that, yes, I want a case, and what kind of phone you have. Samsung Galaxy, whatever. An iPhone 7, I don't know, whatever. Because there's so many different phones out. It's kind of like shoes now, if you go to a shoe store and you like a particular shoe, well, that's great. But you know how many different sizes they have to stock? It's crazy. Now, this isn't as bad as shoes, but there are cases out there that are obviously specific for the phone that you have and or may own. So if you're interested in an ice cream sandwich case for your phone, go to the Facebook page of Kid Friday, join, and write what kind of phone you have. And if we have enough interest, I'm going to get it done, okay? I will get it done, and you don't put your name on there. You don't need to put your address, nothing like that. No. I want to see if there's enough interest out there. So do that, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up here on Kid Friday. This has been a great show, number 236. Thanks for joining us. And, let's go out one more time. Anything? I don't know. It was a lot lighter out there and more in focus earlier. But there you go. There you go. All right. This has been a 2018 KidFriday.com production. All rights reserved for personal use only. What do they say in the NFL? Any use without without written permission from the NFL. But we have to say with any use of this without written permission by Kid Friday or KidFriday.com is explicitly not encouraged. I don't know. I don't remember. All right, we like to end with the beginning. Hey, hope you had a great holiday if you're watching this after the holiday, before, whatever. And we like to end with the beginning. And now I have it hooked up to number 1 on my keyboard. All I have to do is hit number 1. And then I started to think, what if we're recording Kid Friday and I'm looking something up from 1999, and I hit the 1. Hold on, that's going to start the video. So maybe I should move it to somewhere else. All right. But right now it's at number 1. And we'll talk to you. Will you write reviews for Kid Friday, please, all right? We do it for free. Come on. You know what? Show Kid Friday a little love this holiday season. Write a review on iTunes or wherever you are listening or watching Kid Friday. And have a great one. We'll talk to you on the next Kid Friday podcast.
Hit it.
Oh! Let's get this party started.
Yeah,